So in this video, we are going to interview my good friend, Zach. He sold well over $1.7 million on Amazon. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into his Amazon business, how he's got to where he is, and just a little bit more about him. So Zach, really appreciate you hopping on, man. First question, can you just tell my audience a little bit more about yourself? And maybe how you got started selling on Amazon?
Yeah, totally. So I'm Zach. I'm 25, originally from New York. Now I live in Miami. I sell on Amazon full time, and I also coach people how to sell on Amazon and eBay. So basically, how I got started was dropped out of college, didn't know what I wanted to do. Came across Gary Vee's content, started to get into like flipping stuff from like garage sales and thrift stores onto eBay. Eventually got out of eBay onto Amazon in around like 2021. And you were actually the first like Amazon account I've ever hit up.
Really?
And like that's kind of how we became friends over the years. But yeah, just parlayed eBay into Amazon, got into like a bunch of Discord communities, started meeting a bunch of people, started working with some Discord communities, started my own, and now we're just working on growing the community, scaling the store, and just putting people on.
Love it, man. It's definitely been a wild journey. So can you tell people a little bit more about maybe the first item that you sold and maybe what business model that you were doing? Because, you know, there's a couple different business models out there.
Yeah, so I'll break down my first sale ever specifically was on eBay. That's like where I started, like I said. And it was, I had no money, so I literally had like $150 in my checking account. So I was going to garage sales and stuff, went to this garage sale one day, got these 3 like propane lanterns that I paid like $20 for all of them, ended up selling all of them for like $350 plus shipping, like divided by the 3 of those. And like that's how much I was making like a week or 2 at my delivery job. So I was like, damn, if I could do this full time, this could be crazy. And then started doing garage sales and thrift stores full time. And then once I built up capital, then like I started doing online arbitrage from like Walmart clearances, Target clearances, and just like Marshalls in store in general. And then eventually got into Amazon. And my first sale on Amazon was April 10th, 2021. And it was a pool filter that I got. I forgot where I got it from, but it was a pool filter. And yeah, that's how I got started in the first couple sales.
Got it. So what kind of business model are you mainly doing right now? I think you said you did a little bit of retail arbitrage, a little bit of online arbitrage. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, so right now, our business is like 80% online arbitrage, 15% wholesale, and like I'm trying to get into retail arbitrage just with like some people that I'm meeting down here in Miami, just some like good connections and like good opportunities. I've done retail arbitrage, but I kind of went from garage sales, thrift stores to retail arbitrage a little bit to like mainly online arbitrage just because I like the whole idea of being able to like just chill at the computer. Yeah. But majority online arbitrage.
Yeah, and so a lot of people are going to watch this interview and they're going to be like, Zach, I have, let's say, $500, $1,000. I want to start selling on Amazon. How would you recommend that they approach it? Is there a certain business model you recommend, if you want to touch on that?
Yeah, totally. So if you're getting started, sub $500, sub $1,000, definitely recommend online arbitrage / retail arbitrage. No question. Lowest barrier of entry. God forbid anything happens with the items, they don't sell. You could just bring them back to the store and return them. And I would definitely say, like, I recommend to people, like, kind of just to, like, really get your feet wet, start with, like, retail arbitrage, just going into the stores and, like, scanning stuff and getting, like, a proof of concept of, like, what's a good item, what's a bad item, and then, like, start to test stuff online. But definitely start with online or retail arbitrage. And $500 and $1,000 is more than enough to start, in my opinion.
100%. And I understand, like, probably when you were starting out, when I was starting out, like, I made plenty of mistakes, I lost a little bit of money. So what words of motivation would you give to someone that maybe starts the Amazon business and, you know, maybe, you know, it starts a little bit slower than they thought or they make a mistake? What would you say to those new people to keep going?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, 100%. Yeah, like I get this question all the time, like, oh, I'm not finding stuff fast enough or like whatever. And it's just like, I mean, Amazon is a business. And at the end of the day, like in business, like you're going to make mistakes, you're going to lose money, you're going to break even, you're going to want to quit. One day it's going to feel like you could buy a Lambo and the next day it's going to feel like, oh, am I going to go out of business? So it's like the main thing I would say is like you got to have just positive mindset at all. That's kind of given. And then one of the biggest things that's helped me is like surrounding myself with like other people like you and just like other people that are like in the FBA community or just like other people on Discord that are like doing the same stuff as we're doing, like selling, like trying to scale our businesses. Because often like if I come to you with a question, like you might have a good answer because we kind of have similar like problems and stuff we come across. So definitely like try and either get in a community of like other like-minded people or just like make friends in like whatever like industry you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to do Amazon, get active on like Instagram and like get active in these Discords and start trying to like meet people, make friends, ask questions. It's slept on for sure.
Yeah, I think networking is huge for Amazon sellers. And you know, like 5-6 years ago, like people didn't really network because they wanted to keep things secret. You know, it wasn't really talked much about on social media. But I understand that you now live in Miami and you're consistently hanging out with other, you know, very large volume Amazon sellers. So how has networking allowed you to, you know, make more money in your Amazon business?
Totally. I mean, yeah, like a lot of people say like they're like self-made or whatever, and like I definitely contribute a ton of my success to like my network and just like friends like inside and outside of Amazon, like either just giving me like general tips about how I should run my business or like specific like Amazon sauce, like a specific supplier or website or just like item that's hot at a certain moment. I mean, basically like any success like in my eyes, like I contributed to like meeting someone and like picking up like some piece of game or just like watching like someone's YouTube video and picking up someone's piece of game. And in my opinion, like you don't have to necessarily like be like interacting with people to network. Like you could just network by like just like going like someone's like page, like YouTube page, and start watching their videos, commenting on their videos, and then getting them up on Instagram, and then just like trying to start a conversation on Instagram. Like I think a lot of people like overthink networking. I think it's just kind of like just being a homie. Like you don't even have to necessarily like provide value. Like definitely like how I've started like a lot of my relationships, like I would just be like, yo, GM, like to the person like super often, or like, yo, have a good day, or like I like that post, and then like down the line like we ended up just becoming boys. But yeah, definitely don't be afraid to put yourself out there for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how we built our like relationship friendship, is like you would just reach out, and it wasn't like, hey Carter, like, you know, what's the best website to source from, or like what coupons to use. It was like, yo, like congratulations on hitting this new milestone, or it's like, hey man, like how was that vacation that you went on? Just kind of, you know, building that friendship, and then from that friendship, like, hey, let's just hop on a Zoom call and just chit chat, man. And then all of a sudden, like, we're sharing tips and advice. And so I think networking is huge. And a lot of people obviously, you know, read the title of this video, $1.7 million sold on Amazon. That's a crazy number. How did you make that happen? Like people that are watching are like, oh, if I could sell, you know, 1.7 million on Amazon, like that would be, you know, life-changing for them. What do you think was like the main reason you were able to accomplish that over time?
Yeah, so definitely I would say 100% again, coming back to like just your network and like being in a community. I would say a good 70% of those sales are probably from like 10 or 20 items. So like really it's just about like one, like just learning how to sell on Amazon, which isn't super complicated. And then for me it's just like knowing when you could just go super deep on an item. Like I have a lot of friends that go super wide across a bunch of categories and ASINs, and like definitely for the majority of my business it's been like super like concentrated on like going deep on just like ASINs that I find that I could just buy a lot of. So like I would say like definitely a lot of those were just like bolos, like, and if anyone doesn't know what that is, it's like just like a be on the lookout for item that were just like crazy items that were selling like super good for Q4, like either like toys or like electronics or like some types of Legos that I was just able to get like as much as I could buy. So definitely community for sure. Like you got to tap yourself into a good like group of friends and just like people that know what they're talking about.
I think you're spot on there. And on the topic of Q4, we're actually at the time of this recording in the heat of Q4. So what are some strategies or maybe pieces of advice that you would give to someone that is looking to maximize their potential and make as much money as they can during Q4?
Yeah, so I mean, this is one that definitely everyone kind of says, but the last 2 years for me, it's I've bought 100 of an item, and then like it gets to FBA, and I wish I bought like 200 or 300. But with that being said, there's definitely items that I've bought like a little bit too much of at Q4, and I didn't necessarily get burned, but like could have put that capital into another lead. But yeah, I mean, don't underestimate that volume that Amazon does in Q4, and just in general. And then I'd say again, like I kind of just keep saying it over and over, but get in like a community so like you could chop it up with other people, find out what sites are doing sales, what like items might be hot this year, like what like toy brand might be like super hot for like certain kids this year, or whatever the case is. But yeah, definitely don't sleep on the opportunity that like Amazon provides for Q4. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. And also, you know, we're coming towards the end of the year, coming up on a new year. What are some things that you're maybe working on, improving on to continue growing your Amazon business?
Yeah, so definitely one of my big focuses is like my personal brand as of lately, but specifically for Amazon. So me and a couple buddies actually just opened up a prep center here in Miami. So the last like 2-3 weeks been like really focused on that. Just doing like market research of other prep centers, like what they're doing, what they're charging, how we could do better. And just like talking to people I know, letting them know that we're doing this. Because I think this is going to be like a crazy big operation. It's got a ton of potential. Just from like the people that I know in the space and like the people that my partners know in the space. We definitely have like the potential to like bring in a ton of clients. And like definitely like we're kind of already partnering with like an existing warehouse, so like it's not like a bare bones warehouse, so a lot of the stuff is set up, so like we have like the infrastructure to like really blow this up. So that's like gonna be a big focus for 2024, definitely.
Cool. Well, if you need a prep center and you're watching this, you know who to contact. Zach, with that being said, man, what is your final piece of advice or tip that you would give to someone that's watching this interview and either wants to start their Amazon business or has an Amazon business and they want to scale it? What is like one big tip or piece of advice that you'd like to give them?
Yeah, no, biggest tip I wish I got when I started was like just like one, like this stuff is possible, making money on Amazon, like with all of like the like gurus on Instagram with all like their like that might not actually be selling on Amazon. They're just flexing their Lambos or like whatever the case is. Like it is a real thing. Like you can actually make money on this part-time or full-time. It works. Like I try to like tell everyone like all these business models like work. Airbnb, Turo, like drop shipping, like whatever you're doing, Amazon FBA, like they all work. It's just like about if you actually put in the work or not. So like if you actually put in the work into Amazon, it's gonna work. But yeah, like definitely like it's not gonna work overnight, but you stick with it for 6 months, a year. Yeah, there's no question you could do well with Amazon. Stick with it.
I love it, Zach. And where can people, you know, get in contact with you? Maybe they want you to help them learn how to sell on Amazon. Maybe they need a prep center. Where I'll put some links in the description, but where do you want them to follow you?
Totally. Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram, Zach.Sedano, same as the spelling on here. Same on YouTube. Got a free Discord if you want to join. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me on, Carter.
Cool, dude. Zach, appreciate you hopping on. Y'all make sure to check the description, follow him on Instagram, join his Discord, hit him up about Prep Center, learn more about selling on Amazon. Zach, I greatly appreciate you joining, and if you're watching this video and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!